Good morning. It is July 9th, 2026, 7:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is your pre-market analysis. All right, jumping into the Nasdaq here. So this is the Nasdaq chart that we're looking at. Yesterday's candle. I had pointed out that we had two things that could happen, and one was we were going to break down into this area, which I seen as support. That did not happen. Rather, price broke down into this area right here, moved back up into what I had identified as resistance. And in today's candle so far, we continue to push up through that resistance. We haven't gone through it yet, but as you can see, we are definitely at the top level here right now. So this is something I am watching. I had circled this yesterday, so I left that there. This chart looks exactly the way it did yesterday's video. And I left that there just to show that this is still the area that I am watching. There's nothing that has changed. The support and resistance levels are all still the same. So basically what I'm watching for here now is if this candle breaks through this area of resistance, the next area of resistance will be this area right here. And this area is 29,920. Excuse me. If it breaks through that 29,920 and flips this into support, then I will see continued upside. Now, here's the trick, guys. When you see this happening, like say you're watching the day frame, time frame here, and you have a pin drop there, and that pin did not go where I wanted it to. I wanted it right here. So let's say that price hits that, drop to a lower time frame, and say I don't know whatever time frame you like that's lower, 15 minute, 5 minute, whatever. As soon as you see price start getting a grip, it's starting to be able to flip this into support. That's when I would be looking for longs. Those are usually high probability type longs that you might want to take. So there's a little tip for you. Um, but that's all I have for NQ right now. Is still looking at these areas of support and resistance, and as long as we stay in this EQ area right here, this is a known chop zone. So price is really trying to basically rebalance right in this area. Is essentially what it's doing. All right, let's jump into ES. So ES, yesterday's candle put in basically a little bit of a doji. We remain inside of this support and resistance area that I had identified. And of course, this ES is following what NASDAQ is doing. It's trying to push back up to the upside. But once again, we're hitting resistance right at the top of that level. But even if ES does push up and break through here, as you can see, this area right here is an EQ. So this red box being an EQ, which here I'll go ahead and circle this is going to be an area where I'm looking for resistance. Simply because, why? It's the EQ. This is where price would look to be rebalancing. Ironically, it's also the yearly high, the prior quarter high, the prior monthly high. So this is a significant area. If price could push through this area, let's go ahead and draw our fancy diagrams here. Let's say we come up here, maybe do a retest off of this, and then boom, we get through here. I would say, a lot of times it'll stop just before it's going to break it, come back and retest in this area, and then make that move and break through. It would look something like that. Then we would be taking the liquidity from the yearly highs here, and this would be a key area to watch to see if it's going to flip this into resistance, or from resistance into support. And at that point, then I think we're going to move on to some new targets, and I already have our target up here, and that is right here at 7,967. What I could actually do is drop some pins here because look at it as a range. So this would be the first area of resistance that it would hit, about 7,895 to $8,018. So this right here would more or less just be you could say the middle of this range. So if you were to break it down. So there's another little tip I'm throwing at you guys. This is all stuff I teach in the course. It really it helps you get some really nice precision entries and exits. So if you haven't taken a look at my course, you should. You should take a look at it. I made it super affordable, like mind-blowing affordable. So that is what I have for ES. So watching for this to break through, turn this into support. The area that would really be significant if it did break through would be the 7,720. If you've seen that, I would say it's game on. We're reaching for some new highs here. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and move this right to the tippy top of that. I would say right there to be more precise. And I don't know what is happening here with our charts. They got a mind of their own. All right, jumping into Bitcoin, and then we'll wrap this up. So Bitcoin, I think it's amazing how we have this drawing right here. I had this here for a couple of days, and look at how the candles are like it's like they're following it to a T. It's always neat when you see that happen. So anyway, that's why I left that there. So this is what I'm looking at, though. We consolidated down here for a long period of time, and then we had this fake out. And so basically, this is what it was, just doing this, driving everybody crazy, doing this range stuff. And then it broke down. Everybody thought it was the end of the world. And then boom. So that was essentially the fake out. Get used to seeing that. And then, of course, it continues on to do what it's doing now. So what am I looking at for the future? What kind of levels do we have? So obviously, this right here, your prior month high, this is the key area. If we can break through, I would say right here where this green line is. So I'll go ahead and drop a pin on this. If we get through the 65,000, flip this into support, then I think it's game on. We're going to continue to the upside. As long as this continues to be resistance, then I think we still have more downside. And right here, I actually have an alert. So I have an alert to let me know if price does get above there because I am interested in that area for longs. It's not financial advice, just what I'm looking at. Now, if we break down, this obviously would be the area where you don't want to go past any closures. And I'm not talking closures like in lower time frames. I'm saying like 4 hour or higher, a daily time frame. Close a body closing below this level, then I'm looking for lower prices. So this would be right here. This is the EQ of the range that we're currently operating in. This would be significant to hold for support. And if it does not hold as support, that price is 56,642. So if that does not hold as support and gets flipped into resistance, then we will be looking at this range down here about $51,000. I am hoping that is the bottom if we would wick down into that area. But hope doesn't make you money. But reading the PA, well, that certainly puts the odds in your favor, doesn't it? All right, so I think I'm just going to leave it at that. As far as the targets, they're the same basically. So the first level of support would be the 56,700 area. If we would break down, if we do break out, I'm looking for this area as support, 65,000. So we can get a close above 65,000. Then I am looking for prices up here around the prior year high, which would be 73,900. So basically $74,000 is what I would be looking for price to reach up into. So there you go. 74,000 if we head up, 51,000 if we head down. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you're trading, good luck, and I will catch you in the next video.